Cardone is going to jail. That's right. Grant Cardone, if you don't know it, you heard it here first. Grant Cardone is going to jail. I'm just kidding. In this episode, we talk about a video which has sourced into a few videos now that suggest Grant Cardone is not only going to prison, but that everyone in his organization is an informant to the FBI. So if you're watching this on YouTube, I'll make a link to the video or channel that produced the video that sparked our conversation today. And if you want to chat about anything we discussed here today, I'm going to give you my cell phone number at the end, so be sure to stick around. This is episode number 180 of the W2 Capitalist Podcast. Wait, we're about to, we closed our first loan at W2 Capital 2 weeks ago. By the end of this month, we're probably going to do two more, and we're going to have $1 million in loan servicing that's going to be out there. It's pretty freaking wild.
That's pretty neat.
I didn't think we'd burn through $1 million that quickly. It seems like we are. We'll see. I don't want to jinx anything.
Are you the next Grant Cardone?
I'm not. No, there's going to be. We need to talk about that video, by the way. Did y'all watch that?
Yeah. I watched like the first 5 minutes, but like,
well, nobody else.
Did it seem like it was illegal what he was doing? I don't know enough about multifamily and all that stuff to know.
Yeah, well, it comes down to what do you morally or ethically think is right or wrong, or wherever your moral or ethical barometer is. To the Church of Scientology, here's what I took it, because that video was produced by the Church of Scientology, right? And so that was a dig at Cardone, because I think the way he's treated the Church of Scientology.
What, he turned on him or something?
I think apparently they have very high moral and ethical standards, and they see his actions here as going against that. And they felt like because I started reading through some of the comments, because I was interested, just getting there and watching and whatnot. And somebody even commented, and I was like, oh, that's kind of what he did. But he basically wholesaled an apartment complex to his own capital group and made millions, 110 million something dollars is the calculated difference by this video. And to that group who hired him to do this, they see that as being morally or ethically wrong, right? I get it. I mean, I would have tremendous trouble buying a property and then selling it to W2 Capital lenders at any markup whatsoever. Mm-hmm. However, if I bought a property and I increased the value, and the market, independent third-party market, said, hey, this is now the value of it, and members of the board who sat on my capital group said, yeah, we want to buy that property from you, I'll be like, okay, here's my price. I wouldn't see anything immoral or unethical about that. But they definitely were painting a picture that he had done something morally, unethically wrong. Do I think he'll ever go to prison for it? I doubt it. No.
So I didn't finish the video, so I wasn't aware that he like essentially wholesaled it. But like, you obviously know what my stance is going to be on that. Like, all right, fucking more power to him. Like, if he closed on it himself, he would have made more money,
Yeah, I mean, if he and some private investors came together and said, hey, we're going to go buy this apartment complex, and they did some improvements, they increased the value of it, and then they turned around and sold it to a capital group, forget his name's on the capital group for just a moment, I see no harm in that.
Yeah. I know a lot of other investors too, like once they get to that certain point where they're closing on it themselves, they will like cut themselves a wholesale fee. Like, because it's from one company to a completely different company, even though they're still in both companies.
It's called an acquisition fee. There's typically a percentage that goes along with it. However, if I'm a investor into some of his deals, and I've been told, hey, you're going to get a preferred return of X percentage, and I'm not getting that percentage, now I have an issue. I don't know why, but I feel like if he's done that, portion of it, which the numbers that they were projecting or showing severely would have an adjustment on cash flow. You know what I mean? And if it has that adjustment on cash flow, then you're going to have some adjustment on return, on projected returns. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what shakes out. But no, I don't ever want to be that big. Don't. What were your thoughts on it, Jeff?
I don't think you ever want Scientology to be your enemy.
No.
Those motherfuckers have more money than God, quite literally.
Well, I think the Catholic Church probably beats them hand over fist.
And they hold grudges.
Yeah. Why do you say that?
I mean, shit. I mean, have you watched a lot of stuff on Scientology?
No, I the only thing that I've really watched in this, God forgive me, I'm about to go there, but Bill Burr, his take on Scientology and Christian religion. Have y'all ever seen that part of his stand-up? So right now, just cue it up. Just Bill Burr views on Christianity, and he just goes through this whole thing, and that's about my extent knowledge of the Church of Scientology. I don't know. Like, instead of Jesus, they've got some guy named Robert who had tennis shoes and a driver's license and whatever. I'm like, I don't know. It's just funny.
They have so much money.
How do they get where do they get their money?
From their people. Just like every other church.
Yeah.
Scientology is better than Catholicism. That one sounds like a funny title.
But they have
it's Bill Burr. It's Bill Burr title.
They've got a shit ton of like huge, massive properties in Florida, especially Tampa, and it's just amazing how much they own and how much money that they have, and then obviously since it's a religion, they're not paying any fucking taxes.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean,
do you want to hear?
Go ahead.
Something messed up too. So charitable donations, I'm not sure if this has changed with the tax code, but like, you know, 'cause we believe in Christianity, so like we try to punch for that 10% donations. We were kind of shy of that last year, but it used to be like dollar for dollar write-off for like an individual contributor, right?
Okay.
This year, like we looked at our like charitable contributions and it was $600. I mean, like, no, that's way off. And then I like typed in, I was like, is there a cap on the write-offs now for charitable contributions? And it said, yes, $300 per person. And it was like, whoa. But like what you were saying, like if you're considering yourself like a place of worship or whatever, like
so
no write-offs. Okay.
Whoa. Back up. Let me see if I understand this correctly. So the church itself doesn't have to pay taxes, but you donating to the church, you have to pay taxes? Is that what you're saying? Or am I missing?
That's no longer a write-off. So the money that you give on post-tax money that you give to the church is no longer a write-off.
So they've just found a way to where they still can let the churches be tax-free, but you, as someone who donates, has to pay taxes on the contribution that goes to someone who doesn't have to pay tax.
Correct.
God bless America.
Yeah. Now that you mention it, like now that you say it like that, Jeff, and put it in full perspective, it's pretty fucked up. But yeah, like
so how do you like I mean, I'm a spiritual person. I don't know how you want to define that. I'm kind of agnostic, but so I haven't really donated to a specific church in a while. So where do you send your money to? Like a specific church or like a charity or what?
There it is. 2022. Are you asking me that question?
Yeah. You're the one who donates to the church. I don't see Jay jumping in there saying he.
Yeah, so our local church, local missions, for me, like it's really hyper local. You know, we support the youth of
specific causes. Not
like the ones that we think are good, you know. YWAM, if you ever heard of them, they're pretty solid. They're basically Youth with a Mission. And they're the ones that, I'm not sure if when they split up, but they're the ones that also operate the hospital ships that you see going to Africa or going to New York or places of natural disasters. And that's one mission that me and Kate want to go on for sure. We've also
I want to give back. Like I want to, have charity. But I'm also very weary of just cutting a check to some organization and not knowing where my money goes or what it's done now. I hear recently, if I'm on Facebook, apparently I'm getting really old because a lot of the people I went to high school with are dying, and out of nowhere.
This took a left turn. This is 40. What the
fuck?
This is 40. This is death.
Here
we go.
You see this gray hair?
A lot of it in that beard.
But I don't want to just cut a check to Red Cross or whatever.
Sure.
I want to know that if I donate my money, it's going to go to people that are going to use it for a good cause. So somebody will come up and somebody dies. Literally this one girl that I went to high school with and went to church with, grew up with her. She literally fell asleep one day and never got up. And had 5 kids and a husband. And
wow.
We were never really close, but we knew each other, and they had started a GoFundMe thing, and so I donated to that, stuff like that.
So, yeah, I mean,
I'm with you, Jeff. We've donated a lot over the last, probably not as much as we should have, but a lot over the last several years, and it seems like every place we donate, some kind of scandal eventually comes out, and I'm just like, you know what? So we stopped, even with churches, there were some churches back, and my wife will tell you, if somebody ever deceives me once, that's all it takes. I'm not when somebody deceives me or acts deceptive or lies, very rare chance I'm going to give you a second go at it, especially when money's involved and we're just donating to a cause that you sold me on. But I'm like you, and there's the thing that I have started another passion project. It's going to be a very slow roll, but to help some folks out. I talk about this is 40. I was 40 years old before I figured out, and I figured this out on my own, that I had a gluten sensitivity, right? And my entire life I battled asthma and eczema and acid reflux and all these other ailments.
So you were popular in high school.
I was extremely popular. And I was the weird guy out in the hallway puffing on his inhaler, and everybody's walking by looking at it. And so, I've been thinking about, thank you for that, Jeff. Thank you for those terrifying memories. But I've been thinking about how can we give back and whatnot. And so I reached out to Everlywell, who's the group that I did the test with and whatnot. I was like, I want to start paying for people to take a test if they have and figured out. And so we're kind of working on that. And I feel like that's going to be my next charitable focus for a while. Might even grow some legs and do some things. But if I can show, I really like to target parents who have kids going through these problems, because I remember what that was like. And by the way, once I got gluten-free, all those things went away.
Really?
The only time I ever have an issue is if the kids are eating pizza and it's Pizza Hut, and I'm like, oh, that's the best pizza in the world, or whatever.
So weak.
I'm so weak. I'll eat a piece, but it's 45 minutes later, I start squeezing and I start scratching.
Really?
It's just the weirdest thing. And so I feel as I'm kind of processing it, it's worth that.
Worth it every time.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine having to live gluten free. Like,
it's not as bad as you think, man. It really, they've made a lot of
regular cycle.
Well, they've just made a lot, like, I mean, they've got brownies and like they still got a lot of stuff that,
cornmeal's gluten free. You can still get cornbread.
Yeah.
Like all day.
For the most part, there's usually some flour or something in most cornbreads.
Well, yeah, like a proper good Southern cornbread.
Yeah. But it's they make a lot of meals. Like most of the meals that we eat here are gluten free, and our kids don't even know it, right? But the occasional pizza that we get or whatever, so I think there's something there, like some educational stuff, but also just paying for the test and having the test done. If I can help some folks out like that, that's where I want to go with my charitable
knowledge is
giving.
Power type thing.
Yeah.
So I mean, you touched on a lot of good points, like to come full circle with what Jeff was asking is like, how do I know? How do I know? So I mean, like, well, something that just again, spiritual guy, God put on my heart was I don't always have to donate money necessarily, right? You can donate time. So, and the next question was, Jeff, like, how do you build relationships with people?
Spend time with them.
You spend time with them. And then Jay,
I'll answer for him.
Yeah. So thank you, Jay. Jay,
test.
You said it.
I watched something today when I was, don't tell my wife, but I do have a little bit of like,
Trina, turn it off.
Just, you got to get on your phone and kind of zone out for a little bit. And I was on Facebook and it was like one of these moments. It was like old school, like Jenny Jones show. If y'all remember her. Okay. Anyway, she was kind of like a talk show host back in the day.
Okay.
And it was like one of those things where they had a bunch of bad kids on there, and they bring in some like Marine sergeant or whatever to get up in their face and scream at them, and he was like got up in this kid's face and he's like, you're 10 years old, do you want me to be your daddy for the next eight years till you're an adult? And the kid looked at him and was like, yeah, I did. and he was kind of like, oh shit, and then he was like, well, why do you want me to be your daddy? And he goes, because I don't have one. And it was just like,
yeah.
I was like, fuck, like I was very lucky to have a great dad, and I hope my son feels the same way. But like, that's how I would want to give back that.
Yell at kids.
You yell at kids like you're a Marine drill sergeant?
No, not yell at kids.
How do I sign up for that gig? Because my kids are
disadvantaged
tired.
youth, right? Is that what I'm hearing, Jeff?
But just like spending time, like, because there's so many kids that don't have dads, whether they're alive or not, or or they're just shit or whatever, and you need that, and I would love to, I know there's like big brothers big sisters type thing, and but
I really think you'd be good at that, Jeff. I really do. I think you could provide some like serious guidance, because like God only knows you talking to me and you me and Jamie holding together the flipping and wholesaling call.
Yeah, you missed a good talk, Jay, after you got off.
I'm sure. Speaking of, that was my alarm. I've got like 10 minutes and I got to get off.
Yeah, we
got our boring Tuesday call coming up.
Yeah, get back over on your boring Tuesday. We love you guys so much. If you ever listen to this, we're just playing.
Long job.
I never said anything about that.
That's the first time I said something. I miss you, Todd.
You're not
thinking about you all the time.
You're not going to get anything on me recording about that.
Well, Jeff, here's one thing I got to ask you, because I've thought about that too, and been approached by a couple different groups, to help kind of do that, or maybe even being called. But I don't feel like I spend enough time with my own kids, and I and maybe this is just an excuse I'm leaning on, but
bring them along.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's what I would do, because my son is like the most outgoing, charming, charismatic son of a bitch I've ever met.
Never even thought about that.
So I would bring him along.
And my son's always asking for a brother. He goes, "When are y'all going to get me a brother?" Because he sees our daughters. He sees our daughters, always, and it's been pretty special to see their bond grow over the last year. But that's a good idea.
Also, like, he might appreciate your ass more if he sees that, he's pretty lucky to have you.
Yeah. I was trying to think of something smart to say, but that's hard to battle.
I just want to let you guys know that you may not be perfect dads, but you're the best dads that your kids have. Just want to tell you that right now. Just remember that whenever you're feeling blue, because it's the truth. Shout out to old Ron, my dad.
Whether they like it or not.
Yeah. Shout out to my dad, Ron. I know you tried your best, man, but you're the best dad I had because you're the only one I had. So I appreciate it.
That's good. So, I think that goes for all of our dads.
Yep.
All right. As Brody picks his nose on camera.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So I keep asking this. Maybe my mic wasn't working when I first asked it. Why the long sleeve shirt, Brody? It's fucking summer.
So my mother will tell you that, and my wife, she's not in here, so she'll attest to this, but I dress like it's summertime in the winter, and I dress like it's wintertime in the summer. I'm just out of sync most of the time. Don't know why. It is weird. I like to be
You like to be sweating your ass off or freezing, one of the two.
Yeah, sweaty balls. I was gonna say contrarian.
There you go.
Yeah, sweaty is usually how I end up.
All right, I want to see you in a suit next
summer. Next WG Camp. Oh man,
podcast.
Want to look like Patrick Bet Davis.
I guess we don't have a call tonight, just you, Jay, right?
Jamie was talking in his text like y'all had one.
Aren't we on opposites now between?
We're supposed to be opposite, but he told me that due to popular demand, you guys are kind of doing whatever you want to. I'm like, go for it, man. That's fine.
Well,
I don't know.
There needs to be some sort of, and I know you have trouble with this, Jay, but there needs to be some sort of consistency, right?
Yeah. There does. I don't know how to respond to that.
That's for that little dig you sent in your text.
I know.
Earlier.
I know.
I was like,
I am with you.
I'm going to pick my moment.
We're back on Central Time. We hadn't been on Central Time for the last 3.5 months. And I started looking at my calendar today after you sent that text message. And I was like, oh, damn. Is my calendar, did it adjust? Like, what time is it? I missed one call today for whatever reason. I was like, all right, we got to talk about this tonight.
Well, then fuck you, man.
Let's put it on Google too for not telling us they switch it up automatically sometimes.
Well, goddamn, I don't even know whether I'm coming or going anymore. I'm so ready to get the fuck out of Florida, I could scream.
No, South Florida. You want to come back over to Mobile?
Well, I live in Alabama. I don't live in.
You don't live too far into Alabama.
Fair enough, but yeah, I want to go home, man. I want to go fucking home, and I'm
getting close to that.
I don't know. Every day it's different. Every day it's fucking different.
Any more water issues?
No, but we did decide to do an insurance claim.
Oh, really?
So we couldn't do anything to it till the adjuster or whoever came out. Oh. He came out yesterday, and I was like, are we good? Like, can I just go ahead and start on fixing this shit? And he's like, yeah, go for it. I've got the pictures I need. So get that done and that back on track. And then
I don't know if you guys can see this, but that is of course it blurs.
Keeps blurring.
And is a dehumidifier that our handyman texted me while we're talking. Hey, dehumidifier's in progress. We had a leak in one of our units for about 4 months.
Oh no.
That the previous property manager did absolutely nothing with.
I loved how easy it was to rent some stuff. And, I respect all the tools I borrowed. But they're like, if it breaks, the full thing is going to be on you. So I took that as, all right, I'll get the $10 insurance and then disrespect the fuck out of this tool. And then just dump it back on them.
Oh, that one though came as a connection that we have. So I don't know. I think we're not paying as much.
How much is it? Or do you know?
Yeah, it was around 300 for the week, but it's a big guy. It's
top of the line one, the one that they have like 2 big wheels. They have to wheel it in.
Yeah, I mean, a leak for 4 months. I mean, it's got plastic on it like it's never been used. I kind of feel like it's a new one.
Yeah, those dehumidifiers work wonders, man.
It's Patron D160. I got to look up, see how much it is.
What was
probably
it
like
leaking
$500-800.
The supply line to the kitchen.
And it was what, leaking into the cabinet or what? It
was behind the wall, and
so it was a slow leak, obviously, if it took 4 months to.
No, it reared its head about 4 months ago. Tenant reported it to the property manager, and
he just blew it off.
Yeah. Oh, it's nothing.
Asshole.
And so there is a negligent
that is the
suit pending.
That is the shit that wakes me up in the middle of the fucking night is water leaks. And I've actually looked into ways. They have this shit that like it can be on your Wi-Fi and it can literally turn the valve off, but it's so fucking expensive. Like
it's so expensive. The automation's finicky because it's based on like Bluetooth and Wi-Fi.
Right. Yeah.
So, it's like same thing with smart locks. Like, is it going to reconnect or is it going to just be confused underneath the house and just never reconnect?
Well, what pisses me off is like our water meters are updated to where like the dude doesn't even have to fucking lift the lid anymore. It just tells him
drives around.
Yeah, right. And it's like, why can't they have us? Like, why can't they just keep track of it and it sends you an alert if like there's an
like high usage?
Right.
Yeah. Well, because they like to try to trickle up those utility bills on us. So, they'll use it as an excuse to make, the bills went up these last couple of months.
I just get some plumber or whatever to say he fixed it, and then you send it into them, and then they give you a credit.
Most time they'll do that. Yep. All right, gents, I need to run. I need a bio break, a water refresh, do some stretches, do some jumping jacks, get pumped up for our
I'm
Tuesday
alone
night
and
call.
Bored as fuck, so I might actually listen to your boring ass fucking meeting.
Still recording, Jeff. Still recording.
Don't you dare call me out in the meeting. I'll quit this whole thing.
I will
I'll quit. I'll leave an embarrassment.
I will tuck my tail and I will go home.
I will cry myself to sleep.
Well, honestly, Jamie said something about y'all having a call tonight in text, I think.
You want to keep talking, Brody, or what?
I'm down.
You can't on this channel because I got to have it for the boring call.
Just go.
Go to our usual one, Brody, I guess. Maybe we'll jump in on y'all's if we get bored.
All right. Sounds good. Great talking with you.
So next time is the 19th, right? At some ridiculous odd time that you have just randomly picked out of the sky.
I would. Yeah, no, it's not that way. It's okay. I knew we were traveling. I knew we had a couple of things, and I'm trying to fit these in between the calls and whatnot. So it does appear random, but it's literally.
It does appear very random, but it's cool, man. You just
trying to keep you on your toes, Jeff.
Fair enough.
Trying to.
I got a wife for that. I don't know. That's her job.
When you leave a review, and I hope you do, don't forget to tell us who you are and leave 5 stars. That's from Dirty Jobs Micro. Listen, guys, if you're interested in exploring any of the products or services that I use to make my real estate investing career easier, or you want to explore joining us in the W2 Capitalist community where you can hang out with guys like myself, Brody, Jamie, and Jeff on a routine basis, there's going to be a link somewhere in the description or comments or something like that, wherever you're watching or listening to this podcast. But as promised, if you have any questions whatsoever, or you feel like I can help you in anything we talk about here today on this episode or any of the previous episodes, send me a text. I was going to say, give me a call, but chances are, if you're not in my phone book, I'm not going to answer. So send me a text. Let me know what episode you're listening to and how I can potentially help you. We'll find a time to get on a call. Okay. My cell phone number is 205-249-0248.